Daryl Mitchell with episode 4555 of Bush Walking Musings. A little bit of a deep dive into EMFs. Electromagnetic fields, or electromagnetic frequencies, aren't evil. They are part of the modern evolution of our society, and they're not going away. Every part of our society is moving forward with technology, and electricity is an integral part of that growth. So we can't see them as evil. What we have to look at is the fact that the modern proliferation of electromagnetic fields and frequencies are not bio-friendly. We adapt to a certain degree to these things, and depending on the complexity of the machine or the device determines what sort of frequencies come out of it, whether it's very simple or whether it's complex. Most of the modern devices and tools that have been manufactured to deal with electromagnetic fields and frequencies at best aim to bring some harmony to these chaotic fields. And it's the chaotic information in these fields that disrupts the human biofield, even at the very small level, which we demonstrated years ago, even just using a torch battery. If the battery's not harmonized, even in the photons that come out of the light will show a distress response through things like the biofeedback systems like Life Information System 10 computer, or through kinesiology. Or in modern times, using sophisticated tools like the Lecter antenna, we can access this information particularly by using a scale on the antenna for particular frequencies. So what we're wanting to do here is to say that most of the devices that are produced are aiming at harmonizing these chaotic fields, and to some degree some of them do. But there's two things involved here. One is bringing harmony to these fields, and the other is that those devices need to be bio-friendly themselves. And generally this can't happen by physical materials alone. We're finding that we have to wax spiritual on this, and that the capability of these particular devices has to resonate at a very, very high frequency. Now, when we're talking high frequencies, we're not talking about the frequencies on the electromagnetic spectrum, because generally the higher the frequency on the electromagnetic spectrum, the more detrimental it is for our systems. Things like gamma rays are quite high, X-rays are quite high, microwaves are quite high, and the highest measurable one is cosmic rays, which go right through you and can penetrate up to 20 feet in concrete. So the higher the frequency on the electromagnetic spectrum is actually a detriment to our biofield. So when we're talking higher frequencies, we're talking higher spiritual frequencies, higher energy information, that which has integrity, that is based in love and compassion and care. So therefore, it's not enough just to have a device that's blessed. If you have a monk, whether it's Buddhist or Christian or whatever, bless a particular object, that object usually has a purpose, and it might be to bring good luck or to enhance the person's fortunes or bring them protection, for example, against negativity. That device being blessed like that won't have an effect on EMFs, won't bring harmony, which can be easily assessed with things like the Lecter antenna or assessing the biofield, the chi field of a person. So we need to have something particular in mind when we're doing this. The Zenki Energy products are particularly tuned, sealed, blessed, and protected for that purpose. They're adapting to your biofield. They're not imposing anything on your biofield. That's a really important thing to note, that if we're working with EMFs, firstly, they're not evil. We need them. But what we need to do in amongst a world absolutely soaked in these things is to say, well, we want the benefit of that without it being a detriment to us. So there's two things involved just with the fields and the frequencies themselves. One is prudent exposure. If you're around close to transformers or high tension power lines or a substation, or you're going to be working on a computer all day, every day, firstly, you want to limit your exposure to the physical fields that are measurable with something like a tri-field meter. And secondly, you want to harmonize those fields so that your biosystem isn't being completely disrupted, which we've demonstrated in some of our videos using a Lecter antenna, how the central line of the body energetic gets thrown off immediately with holding a mobile phone. So our aim at Zenki Energy is to move forward with products that bring harmony, not only back to a neutral point, which a lot of the products that I've tested do. Instead of being negative, they'll bring EMFs to a neutral point. And so that appears to be okay, but it's not. We want something to go to the positive. And then that product introduced into the human system up against your body or held in your hand, we want that to be bio-friendly. If it's not doing that, it doesn't pass the test for me. Have a fantastic day.